So you have a job and you hate it, or you don't really want to be working there for the rest of your life. Tell yourself that you are the CEO of that company. That company is lucky to have you. You are the Lionel Messi of that organization, okay? You are the Michael Jordan. You are the GOAT of that industry. Their sales are only like the way that they are because you entered into that company. All right, you have to put yourself on the pedestal, okay? You have to put yourself in the center of attention, okay? And I'll even take this a step further, all right? Like, I had issues before with bosses, right? And what's interesting is that a lot of them have been women, right? It's not interesting because, oh, women can't be bosses. No, I mean, it's interesting because usually when people think of a boss, they think of like, a man or whatever. But luckily, I had the privilege of having women to be my boss, right? Hot ones too. But because they're your boss, you end up hating them down the line, and you end up thinking like, yeah, sorry, but fuck you, right? Well, in my case, right, I know this is going to sound strange, but if perhaps you find your boss attractive, this is a little bit more taboo, but I would say this in order to make yourself feel more comfortable around them. Like, they are so fucking in love with me, they can't even focus. They get out of their professionalism for me. They are always talking to HR because of me, right? Crazy shit like that. I remember I said this one time about a boss who me and her always fight, and it was around the time that I just started saying affirmations. And I remember one time I was using the bathroom, right? And no, not for that, you fuckheads. And she was in the attic, which was right next to the restroom. And it was like fucking telekinesis. I just started saying crazy stuff like that, all right? And she fell and hit her head in the attic, okay? Now, someone's going to say, what the fuck does that have to do with her wanting to suck you off, Neo? Well, okay, she's usually very cautious about things, right? And she's never fallen like that before. I mean, she's the boss, she's very, professional and on point, right? And it just almost seemed like because I was saying those affirmations, I shifted to the reality where she was not as professional, right? And it's like I shook the world so much that I shook her, literally, physically, right? It was so strange too, because one could argue like, okay, well, if she doesn't see you attractive, but then you're saying all these affirmations, well, fuck, I mean, maybe she has to hit her head and then boom, she gets an epiphany, right? But I'm just joking. What's actually interesting is that she thought I was attractive before. But either way, we're getting off topic, guys. When you put yourself on the pedestal and say crazy stuff, like all my competition in the company wants to hang themselves because of how fucking amazing I am. I can do this shit in my sleep, right? I can work the code, blindfolded. I can make the orders, with my hands tied behind my back, right? Whether you're in the restaurant business, whether you're in the coding business, software engineer, whatever the fucking thing it is, right? Say crazy shit like that, all right? And you don't have to do this robotically, okay? But as I sip the cold brew, extra cold foam, guys, it's not about roboticism. It's not about repetitiveness, repetition. It's about getting in the state. The reason why I like to have my affirmations so fucking strong is because sometimes you will say something as crazy as my competition hangs themselves because of how fucking amazing I am at doing my job. It's so crazy that it'll make you feel an emotion. And if you can feel an emotion when you say these things, guys, you enter the state right now, because Neville has talked about it. Your boy Neil Larthos, the next Abdullah, has talked about it. All right. When you change your mood, you change states. Okay. It's the same thing. Like when you're having a great day and then somebody pisses you off, you change states. Okay. Automatically. So if you can change your states, that is extremely beneficial, right? And another tip for this is like whenever you say affirmations like you are the GOAT of the company, right? First of all, this is just affirmations on how to deal with your job. But if you really don't want to be working there, you could simply make it, generally speaking, that everywhere you go, whether you are volunteering, whether you are working in the office, or whether you have a 6-figure, 7-figure, 10-figure business, no matter where you go, you do everything perfect. Everything is on easy mode for you, okay? You snap your fingers and the work is done, right? You want to speak generally if you don't want to work at that job anymore, if it's not the career that you want, because remember, it's not your end, all right? You want to stay in your end. Now, you can still say those affirmations in general, but if you don't want to work at that job, if you're saying, for example, that you are the GOAT of that company, I would just say, I am the GOAT, the greatest of all time, whether I'm working in an office or whether I'm an entrepreneur, right? Whether I'm working at a job that I don't like or whether I am in the career that I love, all right? No matter where I go, I am number one in the top rankings pound for pound, okay? Talk about yourself like that. Boost yourself up, because at the end of the day, it's not the job that you work at, it's the state that you are living, it's who you are, okay? It's not the uniform, it's not the salary, it's not the status, it's not the bosses that you have, okay? That's one thing that I would also tell you to do is, in the meantime, while you are working at that job that you don't want to work at, tell yourself, excuse me, no, they are tell yourself about your bosses that they are your employees. You're the CEO. So they better fucking get to work, and they better not be fucking late, all right? I show up on my time. They are on my fucking watch, right? Talk about yourself like that. Narc Max, because the whole key to this is you putting yourself on the pedestal, right? And if you want to add some imaginal acts in there, I would just simply, see yourself. I would exaggerate shit, and I would see people like clapping for you, and you practically just walking down the hallway of the office like if you're the fucking man, like if you're the fucking bad bitch, right? And you don't even really care, right? Whether it's an exaggerated imaginal act or whether it's a regular imaginal act, the key is to not feel happy in the imaginal act, but just to feel normal, just to feel indifferent, just to feel like, well, of course I have a whole parade of people worshiping me, because this is who I am, right? And another tip for these affirmations is, when you say stuff like I'm the GOAT, when you say that, no, I'm the CEO, always give a reason why. And make the reason why pertain to your God state. So it'll be like this: I am the CEO of this company. All my bosses are my employees. Why? Because I'm the only person that exists in my reality. What I say goes. I am the one who writes the paychecks. I am the one who allows them to breathe every single day, right? Talk about yourself as God, because remember, you are the God of your reality. No, you didn't make Adam and Eve. No, you didn't create the Big Bang, but you are the creator of your universe, because when you focus on negative things, it has countlessly, without denial, projected that into your reality. So the same way that it has done it with the negative stuff, it will do it with the positive stuff, okay? So make the reason your God state. If you want to join the membership, where you get exclusive access to videos that will never be shown on the public side, or up to 2 months of advance of videos that will be shown later, and also get access to the only location where they have success stories with personal clients of mine that has worked with me, up to 20+ minute long per video. Guys, join the membership now. And if you guys want to work with me, the links are in the description. I would love to work with you. Bye for now.